Hey, Charizard, how's it going? Guys have to get beats out here in a minute. That's good. I don't know which version you would have seen, but good news. They're all available officially. So you don't even have to go to any sketchy website to watch it. Is the bot offline? 1 second, folks. Yes, it is. Shoot. No! Rube? Is it like a gyro thing that has like a metal looking thing in the middle? If so, that's Rube. Okay. I know that one. I've actually seen that whole show. I like that show. I know some people don't particularly care for it, but I like it. Excuse me. That is close enough. I apparently have scrolled past the one I need. Right. Okay, that's set up. So we should be up and running, folks. Hello, internet. Let me. Throw it in the Discord while I'm at it. So was there a second show you were interested in with Ultraman, or was it you just referencing the fact that there are two people doing the Ultraman stuff in Rube? I saw that drop Discord. Okay. So, here's the cool thing about Ultraman. All the shows are short. Rube's only 20 some odd episodes. And that's fairly consistent. And there's only like one movie, which is also officially released. Yeah, it's just 25 plus a movie. And the movie is after the 25 episodes. So if you got through the 25 episodes and like it, you've got a movie to watch. You can just watch that movie. Actually, since you brought that up, I might as well just show this because it's, I think like Spin Dash in Discord man dropped this. And I was like, yeah, no, that's right. Oh, no. Here's your Ultraman watch order. The main show, movie. That's it. Your era writer watch order. You got your weekly show. You've got all the specials and the Hyper Battle DVD special, and then the summer movie, and then the final episodes and the stage show with the V Cinema and all this and that. It's like that. None of this is a lie. It is. Like, quite literally. Even though Ultraman has a far more coherent, connected universe, it is still very straightforward to be like, okay, you watch this show, and then you watch a movie if there is one, and then you're basically done with that series, and then you move on to whichever one you think looks cool. That's it. Like, the only thing that gets complicated is when you start getting into the Ultra Fights, and honestly, the Ultra Fights are just there for us who like big crossover stuff with all the people and references and stuff. So if you don't watch the Ultra Fights, you're fine. Because those are where it gets complicated, because it's like, here's everybody. Anywho, want to do these quick Blockies updates. We have Toy Fair this weekend. Damn. I have felt that. I don't know when the last time I broke a pair of glasses was, but it was actually the time I think I broke my glasses was like the screw for on like the corner basically stripped itself. I think that was the last time I had a broken pair of glasses, which sucked. Anyway, Toy Fair is this weekend for those who like toy stuff. I believe this is the New York Toy Fair. So Blockies is going to be there, along with a lot of other people. And I also forgot that I should also pull something else up related to this one specifically. So 1 second. Ignore that screenshot. We'll talk about that one in a second. So, Blockies is doing their teases leading into Toy Fair. In what they're going to be showing off. Technically second up, because this was the one they put out today. But their second wave of Blockies Wheels cars. I was going to say Hot Wheels, but that's a brand. Basically, their take on Hot Wheels into your 1/64 scale diecast. That'll be at Toy Fair. We've seen half the wave-ish now in color. It's going to be a Wreckers themed wave based off the name being Wreck and Rule, and also a few of the Wreckers being shown off already. So we might see the whole wave at Toy Fair. I don't know. Kind of have to wait and see on that. There's another teaser, but I'll talk about this first. So on Entertainment Earth, I forgot the website. They put up listings for a bunch of Blocky stuff. So down here at the bottom is that wave 2 of Blocky's wheels vehicles. Comes out April, which is not surprising. Blocky's has pretty quick turnaround on material. Then we have a classic class Dark of the Moon Sentinel and a classic class Bumblebee movie Blitzwing that they're doing. These are their larger model kits that if you desire a fancy looking, or not even really a fancy, just like a nice little model kit version of a Transformer design, there you go. I think they're both out in May. Yes. But then Galaxy Wave 10 for Transformers. This will be, I guess, technically their third movie-themed wave. They haven't really been explicit in a couple of their waves being movie-themed. I mean, by movie, I mean original animated Transformers the movie, specifically, not the Bay films. The one before that. The one that people universally like, instead of the mixed reception of the Bay films, to be honest. Their listing is Transformers the movie 3. So I guess internally it's the third wave of that. Same sort of setup stuff, but I guess it confirms that Six Shot will be one of the figures in the wave, since it says Six Shot in the title. I don't know if Six Shot was in that movie, because I have actually never seen that movie, nor do I really desire to see that movie, but a Six Shot figure, I guess. The other teaser they've put out for Toy Fair, if it'll load, is Saint Seiya Galaxy 4, for you folks who like Saint Seiya. It's these three. These three are in the wave. I don't know who these three people are. Look, I can identify something as Saint Seiya. That's about as far as I go. Because I don't know Saint Seiya. All I can go say is, I believe that's the main character, and I think that's two of his mates. In Wave 4. And I guess fancier versions of their armors that are not gold. Because I think they've done these guys in gold, and they're gold armors. Like they have a not fancy armor, a gold armor, and I guess these armors. I don't know. I don't know Saint Seiya. So there you go. But yeah, that's all we have at the moment. They're putting out the teasers in the morning. So if you're curious, you can watch Blocky's social media stuff like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern. That's, I think, usually when they're putting out stuff. That might be the photograph that they took. I don't know. They also might be pulling from some specific version of that armor. I don't know. But these will be on display at Toy Fair as well. Toy Fair is the 14th through the 17th, so expect info to pop out Saturday, which basically means we're going to get one last teaser tomorrow, maybe, and then Toy Fair stuff. I have no idea what will be at Toy Fair. They've been juggling a lot of stuff. So there could be more than this, there could be less than this. I don't know. I don't know how big of a presence that they've got on the showroom floor for Toy Fair. I can't say that the stuff I'd be interested in, they would not show at a New York Toy Fair, because I don't think they're importing that stuff. No, they're importing the Ultraman stuff, so there could be an Ultraman Galaxy Wave. Like a regular Ultraman Galaxy Wave, not the Mobile Suit Ultraman Galaxy Wave that we already got. Because they're not importing Rider or Sentai stuff. And the Sentai, at least I'm interested in, the Rider stuff is like, okay, this is a neat little thing. Sorry, I was distracted. What else? State of Play was today. It was actually good. I give Sony credit. It was a good state of play. Even if part of it was basically a mini Konami Direct, it was still actually a good state of play. I must give them credit. They put on a good show, even if it was like an hour long, and they probably could have cut a couple of things and put it down to like 45 minutes. Like, we probably didn't need to see Requiem again, but that's like a conversation with Capcom more than anything. So, but yeah, I was honestly surprised. And also, the Castlevania they're putting out is kind of interesting because they're not saying what that is, but I think we're all inferring what that is. And it's kind of interesting what they're doing with that. Because, let me see if I can get a... Let me see if they finally put up their recap article that has everything in it. No, fuck's sake, Sony, put up your recap article that has all the shit in it. Okay, so they announced Castlevania Belmont's Curse. It's a new 2D Castlevania with a clearly female protagonist. Now, if you don't know your Castlevania history, you might be going, okay, why is that of any importance? Well, this is not the first time that's happened. In fact, this would be the second only time it's happened, technically. At least a female Belmont. Let me specify. This would be the second only time we've ever gotten a female Belmont. Because you see, this is Sonia Belmont. She was the protagonist of Castlevania Legends. This is decanonized. This is not an official not necessarily an official Castlevania game. This is not a canonical Castlevania game according to Konami. She was supposed to show up in Castlevania Resurrection, but that got canceled. That was on the Dreamcast. As you can see, she was also in Vampire Survivors. But you see her very, like, specific art design, right? There is our protagonist for Belmont's Curse. That looks like Sonia Belmont. Now, I don't think they're remaking Castlevania Legends specifically. Because, reminder, this is a fucking Game Boy title. There is not a whole lot there. What I'm guessing they're doing is they're taking the material for this, because I think even this lines up. Kind of. Not quite. But I think they're taking Sonia and then giving her a proper game like a proper modern game for the 30th anniversary. Because bear in mind, as a part of this, they said that this is the first thing of many for the 30th anniversary of Castlevania. So they're like, here's Sonya Belmont. There would not be any other Belmont. Especially one that explicitly looks like Sonya. What, Simon? It's not Simon, because we see Simon in this trailer. Simon doesn't look like this. See if I can find him in the trailer. Yeah, Simon is in this trailer. That is not Simon. Because there's Simon. That's Simon Belmont in this. Sonya is his kid, if I recall correctly. He's wearing a glove. That's a glove. He's wearing gloves. But yeah, no, that's Simon. Sonya's supposed to be his kid, but again, she got decanonized. Yes, this is from the Dead Cells developer. Yeah, this is clearly a female character from looks at the trailers and stuff, so presumably they're recanonizing Sonya. But yeah, unfortunately the IGN, I don't think the IGN has everything. It might have everything now. I hope. It looks like it. Hooray. No. But yeah, honestly, this was good. Like, Metal Gear Solid 4 might be the greatest game in the world, but it's finally off the PS3. It's finally on something else that is not the PS3. And plus it has Peace Walker, which is the most yeehaw clown shoes fun Metal Gear game in existence. This is the one where you can have 4 players create a human slingshot. Like, it's technically 3 players, but still. Yes. Actually, the thing up here. I watched the entire State of Play. So, yes, I'm aware of everything that was in it. Whether or not I remember everything in it is another story. I assume you do not like the idea of them remaking the original 3 God of War games as one game, I guess? They were kind of non-specific about that. But I guess they're combining the 3 games together, which I guess could be fine. Oh, the 2D Metroidvania that I knew about going into this, because that has been on the docket for a while now. Granted, the context for it has changed, because I don't think the super early prequel was the context. I think I saw context for a 2D Metroidvania God of War in another region between when Kratos was in Greece, left Greece, and when he ended up in Norway, basically. between the two major aspects of his life, but hey, it's a 2D Metroidvania. I don't know if this is confirmed multiplat, but I believe that also was the talk the other day as well that I saw, that this was going to be multiplat. Which, yeah, I'm not surprised. Sony's been pushing that recently because they can't make money just on their own platform. Yeah, for some reason, Legacy of Kain was not at the state of play. It was after. It was like in the middle of the state of play in a separate announcement for some reason. Yeah, for some reason. Honestly, I have not seen this because, like I said, it was not at the state of play, I don't think. Oh, is this also a pixel art prequel? The pixel art looks fine. I've seen worse. The art is... eh. Did it do a bad? I guess that's a bad thing. I don't know Legacy of Kain. I assume that is not a great thing. Well, I will also say, I have no idea the context for this game. Okay, funny story about that John Wick game first. One of the folks I follow just recently put out a video talking about the John Wick games and the John Wick inspired games that we got in the last few years, and how they're not quite to what you would expect for a John Wick game. And here we go again with a John Wick game that actually looks good, question mark? As the folks I was watching put it, can we see something that's not a canned animation? Can we see moment-to-moment gameplay? No? Damn. So close to being excited for this, but still have to be hesitant. What I was going to say... this fucking game from the PUBG devs that's apparently based on some old Korean novel. I don't know what this is. I don't know the greater context of it. I mean, they have his likeness rights. Whether or not they have his voice is a separate thing, but likeness rights wise, they have his rights to do. They have the rights to have him look like Keanu Reeves. So that's something. Yes, this is the one with the giant chicken man. that immediately, I will be honest, when I immediately saw this, saw Chicken Man, I just went, please be payable, please be payable, please be payable. That would be so fucking funny. Oh fuck, he's playable. Oh fuck, he's just slaughtering people in a fucking Muso game. Fuck yeah. This game dumb as shit, probably, and I don't care. Like, if this game turns out to be dog shit, who cares? Chicken Man with 2 swords fucking people up. Hell yeah. I popped off for this while I was watching. What else was there? I don't think it is. I think it might be just a Muso game, or just might be just a fuck people up game. Honestly, that you would not have that many enemies in a Souls-like game, to be honest. So it's either a Muso or just a regular action game. But yeah, Galactic Racer looked cool. Konami ending their little mini part of this presentation being like, hey, we have a new RPG, and I'm like, okay, Konami, you're just gonna show up here and be like, hi, we're back. we have rescued ourselves from the pachinko mines and decided to make video games again. It feels very, just I say this especially because the folks I was watching the state of playthrough, it's very Tales of in how it looks, and the little bit of gameplay we saw, it's a bit more action based, which puts it kind of in line with the Tales of series, so it might be along those lines. So if you like your Tales of series games, this might be something for you. Control Resident over here going, hey, did you like Gravity Rush? Are you sad that there's not a new Gravity Rush? Good news! We're gonna be the new Gravity Rush. Good news! We pulled stuff from Gravity Rush to make our video game. Because ain't nobody doing gravity-based combat anymore. And you know what? Fair enough. Marathon exists. Poo. Requiem had another trailer. The John Wick. Kenna getting a sequel is nice. God of War, let's go down. Honestly, it seemed like Kenna went well for a lot of folks. It was just like, it was more of a, this was a nice game, but it didn't like hit super big. So I guess it just made enough to be like, hey, we can make a sequel to this. And they made a sequel to it. Which, good. Make a sequel to it. Make it better. It seems like they made it better and bigger. Mina's got a demo out tomorrow. It was good. I think in the stream I was in, I gave it like a B. It was a nice solid B. It was better than the partner showcase we got last week before from Nintendo. Like, there was good, exciting stuff here across the board, even if I'm not the most interested in some of it. It's just like, holy shit, cool things. Like, this got me to pop off for stuff. That's good. That's what it should do. Even if I'm not the most excited for the game, I'm just like, holy crap, I'm not going to play this Chicken Man game, but I'll be, by God, if somebody I watch is streaming it, I will definitely watch it. So yeah, it was good. I would say Konami showing up and showing a lot of what they did, showing up and then basically hitting the ground running on their stuff is honestly that is surprising, because when was the last time Konami did anything of value? Like that whole part there of Konami showing the fuck up and going, hey, we made some video games. Not only have we made video games, we made cool ass looking video games and also re-releasing some good video games. It's like, oh, you figured out that people want to play your shit. Good job. It took a while. So like that gets a B. Like if they had something like super big. No. Because Metal Gear Solid 4 has never been re-released. Since it came out. It has never left the PS3. Period. They have not bothered to re-release that game in years. They have never bothered. What, Delta? Delta's a remake. Unless you're talking about the Master Collection Volume 1. Which, that's been out for years, and they never followed up onto it till now. Okay, yeah, the remake is, like, that's fine. But also... No, it is a re-release of MGS4. It is a re-release of MGS4. That is not a remake of MGS4. That is a re-release of MGS4, Peace Walker, and the one Game Boy Color Metal Gear game. I forget the name of it offhand. Ghost Babel. Yeah, that is not a remake of 4. That is a re-release of 4. And a port of 4 to the PlayStation 5. Which, again, has never left the PS3. Like, at all, ever. And they have not bothered to basically re-release anything outside of that one Master Collection they did of, like, basically the first 3 games. And, like, Metal Gear 1 and 2. And, like, years. So that Master Collection is old. It is several years old. I'm pretty sure Kojima wants nothing to do with Konami ever again. I'm afraid Konami has burned that bridge, and Kojima wants nothing to do with them. Yeah, that was all I have to say about the state of play. It was good. I came out of it going, hey, Sony's doing cool stuff. Hooray. Like, I knew there would be no Wolverine stuff because Insomniac said ahead that, hey, we're not doing Wolverine stuff at the present state as a state of play. So let me pull up some references for myself. Because I have an idea of how to do the hair. We're going to try to do the hair tonight. Depending on how long that goes, we might get to the lab coat, because that's the other thing we need to do. 25. It's a 3. It's like a 3. 3. That is not big enough. Why is that not big? It's 50, not 25. I'm stupid. That's an easy fix, though. Eager. Fantastic. I think our website's down at the moment. Is what we run all the chat stuff through. Which is also why I turned this off, because it's also not cooperating. So, don't worry about it. They'll probably get fixed tomorrow. I was dropped on me a message tonight, and then he can fix it. I saw. I hope that's good. So I knew about that long before that trailer came out because I think they put out a picture or something that said it was Ben Reilly and not Parker. It just made me go, "I?" But also, sure, I guess. Probably because they already did that for the other black and white thing. Technically, the Marvel did, even though this is technically not Marvel, this is Sony, but eh. Werewolf by Night did a black and white version initially. And then I think like a year later, they did a color version. And so I guess they're just like, hey, we're going to give you an option. If you don't want to watch this in black and white, here it is in color. Uh, 5.68. Don't know if that's enough, but we're gonna find out. Not enough. Eh, 0.44, I think. Ow. Fortnite is doing a Kingdom Hearts collab, is what the Fortnite leaker folks are saying. Which does not surprise me because, reminder, Disney and Fortnite have a deal to do something over the next few years since 2 years ago. We don't know what the Kingdom Hearts collab will entail. I guess it's a part of Fortnite's whole "we're doing 1,001 video game collabs this year" thing that they're doing. Both of them laid off a lot of people. Honestly, the Highguard one is worse because that is not a sustainable for its own existence layoff situation. Like, that basically killed Highguard outright. 2XKO didn't, I don't think it laid off that many people in comparison. So, like, that will keep going. Maybe. It just depends on how Riot feels. Work. It's called Riot thought that just because it was a League of Legends fighting game. Okay, that's not what happened. Oh, that's not what happened on Highguard. I have bad news for that dev. You had 6 digits of people try out your video game when it dropped, and now you're down to 4 digits. I think it was like 500,000 to 3,000 according to Steam charts. I mean, I don't blame Keeley. It's not his fault that they decided to show that game at the Game Awards and it didn't look good. People tried the game. People didn't like the game. People stopped playing the video game. That is what happens when you try to do a live service game. If you do not come out swinging, you're on the back foot. That's what happens. It ain't Keeley's fault that you did not make a good video game. You did not make a good video game. And even if it's technically not really the case where you tried to make the best game, and even when you didn't think it was going to be good, you still had it shoved out the door. Here's the thing. If it wasn't at the Game Awards, no one would have cared. It would not have gotten that 5,000 or 500,000 player launch. It would have gotten way less because no one would have had eyes on it when it dropped. Literally. The only reason it got the numbers it did and got the attention it did was Keighley. Not smoother, quieter. It would have died a quiet death. Is what would have happened. It would have died a quiet death because no one would have fucking cared to start with. They at least got attention on their game. Was it utilized well? Nope. I guess since the dev decided to blame the players, it's like, it's not the players' fault. It is not the players' fault that that this happened. No, people tried your game. They said no, and they fucked off. That's what happens. Too bad. I ain't saying it like that, but that's what happens. That's not great either. But again, that's not the player's fault. That's because this is going like on top of the head, and it kind of has to kind of like match this a little bit. I kind of don't mind the overhang a little. That's what we're doing at the moment, because what I'm going to do... I need my plane here, this point. Out. There. Like that one. Here. Alright. We're just gonna fucking freehand this. Stop it. Thank you. Oh. Mm. I think I might have saw a clip of that randomly the other day. It was like a small little clip. I was like, oh, that seems interesting. Okay. That same thing over here. That's the thing at the moment. I guess you call it friend slop. Most people call it. Bunch of those blew up, and so now everyone's got to have one. Here's the thing. Sonya is not canon to start with. That's why I said that if they're doing something with Castlevania Legends, they are canonizing her for the first time. That's why I said at the start of the stream. That's what I said start with. Is she's from Legends, which is not canon. Which is them canonizing her for the first time, probably. Because it's technically not a remake of Legends. I might have misspoke on whose kid she's supposed to be. The entire point is to recanonize her. That was what I was trying to get across. Oh, she's supposed to be Trevor's mom. Or Sonia. Simon's mom. Whatever. The whole point is canonizing Sonia. That's the entire point I was trying to get across to start with. The design they've chosen for that character is incredibly modeled after Sonya. However they wish to recontextualize her, that is how they wish to recontextualize her. Like I said, Legends was never considered canon after a point. And the game that they were going to bring her into canon got canned. So, Sonya wasn't real to start with. Yeah, that works. It's got hair. Finally. Doesn't look like horrendous. We're just making it up as I went. Okay. How do lab coat? Zara 4.0 is up. Hooray! I get to do when I'm done streaming. And there. App option. I've got an idea. We're going to try it. Some too big. So of course it did. That's better. D20.
searching and I'm melting to you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. My time, let me no one else. Pride's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream state. Someday you go through the rain, and someday you feed on a tree from. And someday you triumph to survive. For the great within your life, make it my life, not for honor, but for you. My time, let me no one else. Cry is the way
Oh, for fuck's sake. That'll work. We have to see how far. One, three. That can't be. Of course not. Okay. Lie to me. It is. What? Just drill the hole, then we'll figure it out after the fact. Come on, Mission. Cooperate with me. So it needs to be at least over. 3. I could just very stupid. Down 5.25. Very good. Why am I just not looking at the buck here? $8.20. Fucking hell. Very stupid about this. Of course it does. Oh my god, they're filling up. Oh, is that? Okay. No, I don't even know what they are at the moment. That might. That might be fine. Fine. Not quite. No. Need to be like. Chemy. There we go. Finally. I'm gonna call that XA done. I could probably put the little like pocket thing on the coat, but but I don't feel like at the moment. We're getting everything lined up. I should probably put a peg on. Well, it's not supposed to be a cape. It's supposed to be a lab coat. So that's the best I can do. So it gets to be that. It gets to be very cape-like because it's like, I don't know what else to do. Yeah, it's got a pocket and stuff, but I don't feel like putting that there. I could probably pull this out a little bit more to like probably like that line. It's gonna break something. I can feel it. Further needs to need to come out. About, let's say 5.5. No. Oh no. That's what I was. Pocket angle. Could I get away with this? Please? All right, that looks a little better. We'll go with that. Okay. We're done with Xaid. Okay, that was weird. There we go. I'll add him to... one that's got everything on it. Come on, SolidWorks. Come on, cooperate. There we go. There's everybody that we've made at the moment. I have put more work than I'm sure someone has put into making a Funko Pop. Not gonna acknowledge this window existing OBS at all. Thank you. Very much. Outside of how many ever people made these designs to start with, which I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know who made these designs. Within Bandai's team and all that.
Dude, guess what I just found?
Gee whiz, I don't know. A lost pug or something?
No, dude. I found an old Game Boy.
Whoa, that's so hardcore,
I
man.
know, man. I got an old copy of Kirby's Dream Land in there, too.
No way, dude.
Yeah, let's boot it up.
Alright. I was checking Discord stuff at the moment, so we get to move on to someone else. We're still in the fuck me sideways, I don't know, range. We've got Agito, we've got Ryuki, we've got Hibiki, we've got Kabuto, we've got Kiva, we've got Ghost, and we've got Wizard. I look through my reference images. It'll help me decide who next. It might just be that. You know what? We'll do like we've been doing TGSR, so 1 second. Hit up a quick wheel. I was gonna eliminate them until it gives me one of them. So not wizard. Not Agito. Okay, that's 2 dragons of a roll of 3. That was about a 3rd one. So not Hibiki. I was about to say, you're gonna give me fucking Kabuto, aren't you? Am I expecting to do more than the others? It'll probably be Ghost, because Ghost is the one that scares me the most. You know what? I will take Kiva. Kiva probably will be the easier of the two. Yeah, I'll take Kiva, even though I was doing it by process of elimination. It should be Ghost, but yeah, well, you know what? We'll take Kiva. Kiva would be the easier of the lot. Let me get, let's just throw it in. Water Fox window real quick. There's the Kiva design. Yes. Kiva and his forms are based off basically the universal monsters. Kiva's main form easier than Ghost? Yes. Because there's Ghost. Guess what he doesn't have? Arms. Guess what he does have? Very detailed hands. And a very detailed design. Because his whole thing is the parkas, and it's like, well, to figure out how to do the parka in the hands. Now you see why I'm scared of Ghost. Honestly, of the lot we have left, Ghost scares me the most. Yeah, Kiva is just a bat. This theoretically is easy enough. We'll have to figure out, like, the hardest part's going to be these wings. Because I would want them to be hinged, so I'll have to figure out how to do a hinge system for them. That'd be a nice learning experience. So that's what we're basically going to learn off Kiva. So what I was thinking is... Alright, Dubs buddy. I'll explain this as you leave. What I'll probably do is... It's either a bar right here to loop into caps on the end, or just like nubs in clips, basically. Figure it out. But we'll probably work up towards that. We'll just start with like the body and go up from there. So yeah, we gotta keep it to do next. Hooray! was about to bark at me about something. I was like, no. Like, oh, good. It's not bark at me. Hooray! So yeah, we'll start Kiva next week. This was like what, 45? If we hit 50 and we're not done with Kiva, I might pivot to doing the custom Jade that Dark Tidal Wave did, and we kind of like just chip away at the Jade one on the side. It depends where we're at in 5 weeks or so. So yeah. But that was it for tonight. Tomorrow, I forgot we technically have an Naruto game before we hit that Rid Racer game. So I grabbed both. We'll handle the both of them. Maybe tomorrow for Cube Tales. We'll see. I am definitely doing Star Rail tomorrow. We'll be doing the new updates to Currency Wars and maybe some event stuff. I'm gonna hop on Star Rail tonight once we're done here. Work my way through how much ever story I want until I'm just feel tired and I want to go lay down for a bit. And then do basically like I said, Currency Wars and any event stuff if I feel like it tomorrow for Star Rail. Saturday, attempts 3, possibly even 4, maybe 5 for our co-op madness. We'll see how it goes. We've killed a run apiece. We'll see if we do it in the same game again. Because I feel like I have a grasp on the Emerald Randomizer now. So we should be okay on Emerald. It just is Fire Emblem and KHD, basically. So, for me at the moment. So yeah, that'll be Saturday. Sunday, we continue our run through of Kyoryuger. Next 4 episodes on that. So if you like what you're seeing, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Exclamation point, YouTube chat, YouTube archive for this and all other streams. Basically, a whole bunch of miscellaneous streams are going up. I believe I've got all of Tommy's streams that he has ever done solo or just miscellaneous in general. He's ever done, and I think all of Glock's solo miscellaneous stuff is also scheduled. That gets us through Sunday, I think. I think I'm at basically a bunch of TGSRs from 2020, and I'm gonna start basically grabbing whatever playlist is not done and run through that. But that's the plan for the YouTube at the moment. So there's that. Exclamation point, social and chat. Get to the handles for our social medias. You know when live. Exclamation point, Discord and chat. This sort of link. I guess one last note. So I advertised them last year. I won't show anything this, but Ty Tuesday, who myself and Tommy really enjoy, him and his mates and stuff of the pit crew are doing their Trans Am marathon soon-ish. They announced it today. They don't have dates for it yet. I forget the charity they did it for last time, but it was for a trans related organization. So if you want to support trans individuals, especially right now, check out Taisuze and crew. They're getting together, finalizing dates and stuff, and they'll announce when they're doing it soon. Which, hell yeah. But yeah, that'll do it, folks, and we'll see you tomorrow.